Welcome back to the special earthquake edition of Strong Qigong. We had the house shake today, and if you will, go ahead and take your places and begin to breathe deeply, slowly, quietly, and evenly. There we go. Get some music in there and get the rhythm going. And take some long, slow, deep, silent breaths, deep and slow, quiet and even. In through the nose and out from the mouth, in through the belly and out from the chest, in through the heart and out from the mind. And as you do so, extend every exhale as if you're blowing through a straw. At the bottom of every breath, squeeze a little more air out. And that's how we control the inhale, is by how much we exhale. I call it yang-hail and yin-hail. And as you yang-hail at the bottom of every breath, a little squeeze makes that ensuing inhale deeper and slower. That's one of the ways we control the breath. That has to do with our anatomy. We have many more exhale muscles than we have inhale muscles. So explore it. And as you do, you might invite your eyes to close. And if you do so, begin to search in your mind's eye where the out-breath changes to the in-breath and the in-breath changes back to the out-breath. As you continue to do so, allow that changing and find that fleeting moment. We call that sharpening the mind on the stone of the breath. So continue to emphasize every exhale, draw in deeply, and sharpen the mind on the stone of the breath. Find the fleeting moments where the breath cycle changes out to in and in to out. And then when you're ready, allow your eyes to gently, slowly flutter open as a butterfly might leave a flower. So we can begin our warm-ups from head to toe, beginning with yoga neck roll. We take a deep breath in and our head floats like a balloon. And as we exhale our chin down to our chest. When we inhale again, we inhale and sweep one ear past one shoulder. We exhale, sweep across the chest. Inhale, opposite ear past opposite shoulder. Exhale, sweep across the chest. Inhale, ear past shoulder. Exhale, from side to side. The yoga neck roll. You're warming up the upper respiratory sinus. 6 muscles known as scalenes that are guy wires. They're attached to the top of your neck and attach the upper 2 ribs. You're getting them ready. They're the ones that hold the rib cage in place while the diaphragm rises and falls beneath it. And on your next exhale, pause at the bottom. Inhale your chins upright and go into the yoga, or I should say the dajue rolls, the upper shoulder girdles. We loop forward and inhale. As we exhale, we draw back and squeeze downward, and we continue this looping with our breath, your own rhythm. So as you inhale, loop forward and upward. As you exhale, squeeze backward and downward and wake up the area between the shoulder blades that's known in the ancient Asian literature as the dajue point. We're waking it up with these rolls, big looping and scooping rolls. Oh man, and if you moan in delight like I do from time to time, that's quite okay. It just feels good. Oh, on your next one, you can relax your shoulders and then turn your eyes towards one hand and begin to scoop and toss behind you. Scooping with palm up and tossing with palm down. Looping and scooping. And you might follow your hands with your eyes, and you might calibrate your breath with your movements. So you scoop with palm up and inhale, toss with palm down and exhale behind you. This is silk reeling, and we call this warm-up windmills, just to get the upper body involved. And then what we do is we start to draw this looping up the arms, past the wrists and forearms, elbows and upper arms, and back into those shoulder girdles. Now, one at a time, As we rock and roll from side to side, we've got a rhythm going, and we'll work our way down into the lower thoracic spine by simply moving from these rolls into the pellet drum. Begin to simply twist from side to side and invite your body to shift weight and turn trunk. Beautifully done. And then to really engage in the pellet drum, we do the slap and tap. We slap or tap the top of the opposite shoulder and the low back. You decide how much velocity or control you feel you need today. Maybe it's a gentle tap. Maybe it's a not so gentle slap, whatever you need. And after you've done the top of your shoulder, work to the top of the chest where it's safe to give yourself a slap or tap up around the collarbone. And after you've done the top of the chest, drop to the bottom of the rib cage, down by those floating ribs where we squeeze out that extra breath. And after the lower rib cage, we drop down to the hips. And our thoracic warm-up is complete. We can work our way now into our lumbar spine. We invite our hands to float to our hips. And we begin big looping hula hoops. Make them as big as you can. As you breathe long, slow, deep and silent. Deep and slow, quiet and even. Whichever direction you chose, simply pause and loop in the opposite direction, as the goal of Tai Chi and Qigong is always to balance yin and yang, always to balance east and west, always to unwind what we've wound. And after you've done a few more, you can settle in the middle, your center of gravity between your base of support, and you can step out into a little bit wider, lower, firmer stance. You do a little light bobbing, because this is known as horse riding stance, and it should feel kind of comfortable to be able to do this. Once you're in this stance, we'll go to the Great Bear Swings, a Shaolin warm-up. We inhale, and then when we exhale, we turn our trunk and we drop our shoulders down. As we inhale, we turn our trunk, rise to pause, and exhale, turn trunk, drop down. Inhale, rise to pause. So you're making a big letter O, like so, all the way up at the top. Exhale down, and inhale and rise. And this is the Great Bear Swings from side to side. So beautifully done. And on your next exhale, you can simply pause at the bottom and inhale your trunk back upright. Before we leave, let's shift weight on a figure 8. So it's a rocking, as you can see, from side to side, but you're making this kind of swirling motion with your hips, shifting weight on a figure 8. Beautifully done. And now that we've got the lumbo-pelvic hip complex warm up, we can settle back into the middle, bring our feet back into a comfortable stance. About shoulder width, we call this center stance. And we shift to one side, we raise the opposite heel, and we loop the knee inward so that the ankle and foot can follow along obediently. And then we loop outward, always unwinding what we've wound. We take weight through that foot, raise the opposite heel, loop inward. After a few inwards, a few outwards. And we settle in the middle. And we begin our Qigong breathing. Inhale our palms up towards our heart. We exhale our palms back down towards our lap, and we continue. And as you do so, you can follow the rhythm of your own breath. You don't need to follow mine. And as you do so, to get the most out of this meditative preparation, as you inhale your palms upright, you might invite your eyes to close, because you're breathing between two of your energy centers, your heart center and the cauldron of the body center. And to get the most out of this, we want to engage the cauldron of the mind, the upper dantian. And the best way to do so is with eyes closed, so that you can call on the power of your own visualization. And as you continue this movement with your breath, you use the power of that visualization and you imagine from the core of the earth, a glowing mist rises through the soles of your feet, through the trillions of cells of your body to settle up in your mind, in your upper dantian. And with each exhale, as your hands melt down, you imagine that glowing mist forms a glowing rain, and that glowing rain falls down all through the body, cleansing the inner body. So with each inhale, as the palms rise, the glowing mist floats upward. With each exhale, as the palms fall, the glowing rain falls downward, cleansing the inner body. A classic Tai Chi and Qigong meditation and visualization. And on your next inhale, we'll invite our hands and arms to pause at heart height in a hugging pose. This meditative pose is known lovingly as stand like tree, where we take inventory of our alignment with long neck and light head floating upward. Our heavy shoulders and our heavy tail melt downward. And as our spine, our string of pearls, stretches between them, our hands hover as if we're tenderly hugging a long-lost loved one, while our feet are rooted in a stance that's like a mighty oak, and our three energy centers that we were breathing between stacked perfectly, balanced on one another like smooth river rocks on life's river's edge. As we exhale and extend every exhale through closed eyes and pursed lips, our hands begin a slow journey downward until our thumbs cross over our belly button and our folded fingers warm just below in what's lovingly known as the cauldron of the body, the lower dantian. As we extend every exhale through pursed lips and closed eyes, we visualize blowing on the embers of the cauldron of the body. And as we do, those embers respond by growing brighter and brighter with each extended exhale. And with each deep ensuing inhale, we draw that light upward and outward. Filling the inner galaxy with light, we begin to blow on the embers of the cauldron of the heart, those two energy centers we were just breathing between. And the embers of the cauldron of the heart do the same. They respond and fill the inner galaxy with light. And we draw it upward and outward until it spills beyond your inner body and fills the room around you with light, warm, silken chi energy. May your body be strong, and may your heart be calm. Now that we're warmed up, we can allow our hands to melt to our side, only inviting our eyes to gently, slowly flutter open as a butterfly might leave a flower. Welcome. We step into the center of our little boat, and our hand on this side of the room or screen makes a fist that floats before our heart. The hand on this side covers it. Together, we take a deep breath in and straighten. We slowly exhale and bow to one another in a gesture of mutual respect. And as we inhale ourselves back upright in gratitude for the tradition, as we exhale, our hands melt down. When we inhale again, we inhale up overhead an inch apart. We exhale down very slowly and deliberately. This is centering the chi, where we begin and end every session together. We do one more, and this time we bring our palms together. In the manner of the Shaolin, we exhale only to the heart center, and we do this in deference to them for so much that we learn. We inhale and elbows rise and wrists straighten. We exhale and our hands melt down as the Shaolin do. We're ready now. We step into the center of our little boat. We unlock our knees, and then we inhale our palms up an inch apart again. As we exhale slowly down, our knees and hands calibrate with our breath. We float with the breath, and we exhale slowly down, melting with the breath. Knees and hands rise, knees and hands fall in a classic movement we know as sinking the chi, rising and falling. And as we do this, it occurred to me, you could be spelling sink, S-I-N-K, as in sinking downward, Or you could be spelling sync, S-Y-N-C, as in synchronizing with your breath. And maybe a little too much thought in the morning. Let's just float and rise, melt and fall, concert with our breath. Beautifully done, syncing the chi. When our hands rise again, we're going to shift our weight, and the hand and foot on this side of the screen will come out in front of us, the heel down, the toe up, and the opposite hand in between. We take a deep breath in, and as we exhale, we switch to the other side, floating and melting. And we continue from side to side, rise with the breath and fall with the breath. Beautifully done. This is known as playing peepaw, the ancient Asian lute in Tai Chi. We pause and hold that posture for just a moment. But the goal of these movements is the smooth flow between them. So work on making your transitions as smooth as possible. This is what was taught to me by my teacher, David Dorian Ross. He says it's the transitions that are the most important part. So you make them smooth, graceful, and breathe through them. On your next one, invite yourself to step out, find your center, and sync your chi. Beautifully done. Floating and melting, rising with the breath, falling with the breath. And in a moment, when our hands rise again, I'm going to invite you to use your eyes to follow them upward, and then cross your wrists with gentle fists. As you do so, cross wrists, exhale as low as you can comfortably, and then inhale and rise to the sky. Exhale as low as you can go comfortably. This is known as gathering the chi in Qigong. It's also known as embracing yin and yang. You rise as high as you can reach. You fall as low as you can go. Embracing yin and yang, or gathering the chi. And in a moment coming up, we're going to do something that's a bit of a warm-up that we borrow from Shaolin Temple, Europe. It's called the bucket hold. We'll call this the Shaolin bucket hold. And in a moment, we're going to shift our weight over to the right foot as we raise the left knee, and our hands are going to come up in gentle fists at about shoulder height. We'll pause, and then we'll switch to the other side. So in a moment, prepare yourself. And when you come out of the next one, shift weight, rise up onto your foot, then drop and cross wrists and switch. Inhale up, hold the gentle fists, and continue from side to side. Inhale and rise, hello, and exhale and fall. And if you challenge your balance, that's the idea. As we exhale down and switch, we inhale and rise. We exhale and fall and switch. Cross wrists. Make that transition as smooth and as beautiful as you can. Beautifully done. The Shaolin bucket hold, as if we're holding 2 buckets of grain or 2 buckets of water. Exhale down. On this next one, return to embracing yin and yang. Simply rise, cross wrists, exhale down, right where you began, floating and melting. Beautifully done. Now, on your next one, as you rise, I'm going to ask you to invite your hands to wind up with your palms facing each other about a foot apart up at the top, and then glide down an invisible column. At the bottom, flare your wrists and elbows outward and upward. And then exhale downward and inward and scoop up. And continue in this manner, exhaling down, inhaling up. And if you'll notice, my fingers are tracing two small circles, maybe basketball size, between the collarbones and the hips, not big circles. And this circular movement with the hands as we exhale down and inhale up is known in Qigong as cleansing the lungs. So the lungs are considered associated with metal in the ancient Asian literature. And you might imagine this visualization, that as you trace these circles with your hands and fingers, you're holding two silken cloths, and you're gently polishing the inside of two Tibetan bowls, the singing bowls, as you rise with the breath and fall with the breath. How beautiful, cleansing the lungs. And in a moment, as we drop down, I'm going to invite you to imagine grasping a ball of silken chi energy. You're going to take that ball and you're going to drop as low as you can and scoot outward and upward, like so. We drop down, we inhale up, and then we exhale down our body in this looping movement, rising with the breath, falling with the breath. Beautifully done. In Tai Chi, this movement is known as digging in the garden. You might imagine you're holding a child's pail and you're standing in beautiful, warm, comfortable salt water that's crystal clear on a white sand beach. And it's knee-high, and you're scooping and filling this child's pail with water. And as you exhale down your body, you're dumping this salt water warmly down your body. Digging in the garden is the name. Beautifully done. Now, coming up, when our hands drop again, I'm going to invite you to make big, hungry tiger claws with your hands and reach down into the earth and inhale towards your heart, pausing, then exhale, reach and grasp the sky. Inhale towards your heart. Exhale, reach into the earth. Inhale towards your heart. Exhale, grasp the sky. Inhale towards your heart and continue in this manner. This inhaling towards the heart hungrily in both directions is part of a classic series of Tai Chi and Qigong, maybe possibly one of the oldest recorded series that's known as the 5 Animal Frolics. And this movement, you've guessed it, is the tiger. So you grasp with your big hungry claws the earth and you inhale to the heart. You exhale and grasp hungrily the sky and inhale to the heart. This is the tiger. One of the 5 animal frolics. Use your yang hail to exhale into the earth, inhale hungrily back, exhale to the sky, inhale hungrily back. Beautifully done. And prepare. On our next drop down, we'll find our center and sink our chi. Rise with the breath and fall with the breath. Beautifully done. Continue. Feel the silken chi energy that you've stirred up with this nice, light, simple, strong Qigong mix of Tai Chi, Qigong, in Shaolin Kung Fu. Warm-ups, to be honest. Rise with the breath and fall with the breath. Beautifully done. When your hands drop again, invite them to pause at the bottom, extended in front of you, and then inhale them extended in front of you up towards your heart height and back down. And continue to breathe in this manner, floating and melting. This is opening the door, and you'll see this at the beginning of formal Tai Chi and Qigong routines. Here we're just preparing ourselves for our landing. So in a minute, when our hands rise again, we're going to move into one final Qigong move known as cleansing the heart. So when your hands rise again, spread them wide. And then as you inhale, bring your hands in towards your heart and sink down. As you exhale, push out and rise. And continue a few more times. Inhale and sink. Exhale and rise. And this is cleansing the heart. This is Qigong. And it prepares us for our final stance to take inventory of our alignment. So if you can do so comfortably with eyes closed, you might invite your eyes to close and prepare yourself to stand like tree. With long neck and light head floating upward, our heavy shoulders and heavy tail melt downward. As our spine, our string of pearls, stretches between them, our hands hover as if we're tenderly hugging a long-lost loved one. Our feet are parallel in a firm, rooted stance like a mighty oak, as our three dantian stack balanced perfectly on one another like smooth river rocks on life's river's edge. As we breathe deeply and slowly with soft knees, soft belly, soft breath, soft gaze, or best of all, eyes closed, we feel the echoes of the chi we stirred. We see the dance in our mind's eye. We use the power of our visualization and choose our favorites. And if eyes are closed, we enjoy it. As our hands take the final journey slowly downward until our thumbs cross over our belly button, our folded fingers warm once again on the cauldron of the body, we resume blowing on the embers of the cauldron of the heart and the cauldron of the body. And those embers respond by growing brighter and brighter, the light within us. We draw that light outward and upward, and we begin to blow on the embers of the cauldron of the mind, the third upper dantian. We blow on the embers of all three cauldrons, and those embers respond by growing brightest still, filling our inner galaxy with light, spilling beyond our inner galaxy, bathing the room around us, spilling beyond the room around us, bathing the loving home around us, spilling beyond the loving home around us, bathing the world and life itself around us with bright, warm, silken chi energy. And may your body stay strong, and may your heart stay calm, and may your mind stay sharp, and may your spirit stay free. Yi Dao, Qi Dao, which means where mind goes, Qi follows. If eyes are closed, enjoy it as your hands melt to your side, only inviting your eyes to gently, slowly flutter open, just as a butterfly might leave a flower. Beautifully done. Welcome back. We step into the center of our little boat. And very slowly and deliberately inhale our hands up an inch apart. Just as slowly and deliberately exhale down, centering your chi one final time as promised. So the hand on this side of the screen makes the gentle fist before the heart. The hand on this side covers it. Together, we take a deep breath in and straighten. We slowly exhale and bow to one another. You give yourselves a round of applause for being the light you've made in the world today. Thank you so much. This is so enjoyable for me, and I hope it is.